Yes, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here, and we are back with another episode of One Leeds. I hope you enjoyed last night's debrief. It was a little bit different. I got loads of responses from you guys, so yeah, buzzing you enjoyed that. As we say, we just try to curate content so you guys love what we do, really. So yeah, massively happy that you enjoyed it, especially with the big man Gabe, who was replaced by Joe Wayman, or I should say just Joe Wayman. Cheers, Joe, for coming on. Hopefully we can get Joe on the show as well a little bit more often. I've got something that I might propose in the summer, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, listen, we're back here with another episode. We're back here to talk relegation. We're back here to talk Leeds United. Make sure you slap a like on the video. I'm revitalised after my trip to Lisbon. I'm revitalised, I'm rejuvenated, and I'm ready to make some content. And we're going to bring more content to you guys every day. We're also going to add to the Patreon account extremely soon with another Generation Leeds and a couple of other bonus bits, which I'm trying to do per week. We're going to get a proper framework going into next season on the Patreon as well. So for a $5 a month, I know you can do YouTube memberships where you essentially just become part of the channel and pay something. But I always want to give back to you guys. So, if you want to contribute to the channel, it all goes into the running of the YouTube show. So get on over there and you get content back for your dollar. So there you go. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much to the existing patrons as well. So let's get into the news today. Not almost the news, but the topics that I want to talk about when it comes to Leeds United. And once again, we spoke about the relegation running the other day, the relegation picture, but I properly want to get into the opposition fixtures. Obviously, we saw Leicester get absolutely trounced last night, which was great to see. We saw Liverpool almost at ease put 3 past them. I didn't expect it to be that easy. I think I've almost been indoctrinated into the Nottingham Forest and the Everton 3-1 and 5-1 against Brighton, and the Forest 4-3 against Southampton, and the Forest 2-2 against Chelsea. And I've been thinking to myself that, oh no, Leicester are going to do the exact same thing. But Leicester, I think, are going down 100%. I don't see them getting many points in the remaining fixtures. But I guess that doesn't really mean anything to us because 3 teams go down at the end of the day. So yeah, Leicester are going to go down, but it's Leeds United who are in 18th place. It's Everton who are above Leeds. It's Forest who are above Leeds. And there's been loads going round at the minute of the potential outcomes and how Leeds are going to fare. And I think my expectation is that obviously Southampton and Leicester go. But I've said several times, I still think it's going to be difficult for Leeds. I think, results against Fulham, results against Leicester, results against other teams in and around us, Bournemouth as well, have almost killed Leeds. But there is hope there, of course, and that's the problem, and it's because we're getting ever closer to the end of the season and we're in with a shout. I was speaking to an Everton fan last night, and he's extremely confident, with their turning performances. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I watched him against Brighton. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was absolutely brilliant to say he's been out of the side for so long with obviously a tight calf and problems with his knees and stuff like that. From what you believe, if you read the right reports, he obviously came off at the weekend against Man City, but I fully believe that was just precautionary. I think Dyche has come out in the post-match press conference and said, "Oh yeah, that's it. He's complaining of a tight this, a tight that." For me, there's no way that's happening. I think he's just brought him off as a precaution. The 2-0 down at the time to Man City. He'll be playing against Wolverhampton Wanderers away, and I think he gives Everton a new dimension. I think when you compare him to Patrick Bamford, every time I watch Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think technically he's a better player on the ball. I think he moves the ball quicker. I think he's better in the air. And I think you even saw with the Brighton game where he's up against 2 massive centre-backs, his hold-up play is as good as Patrick Bamford. I think Bamford's probably better maybe at winning free kicks. And been a little bit cuter than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, because Dominic Calvert-Lewin's always about, bashing the opponent out the way and trying to meander through. But I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin's a better player all round than Patrick Bamford, and him coming back for Everton is absolutely massive, especially when you look at their remaining fixtures. And I'll just pull up their remaining fixtures now, everyone, so it's a bit more of a visual for you guys. But yeah, if we look at Everton's remaining fixtures, 17th in the Prem. Obviously, if we just look down there at the table, the goal difference is better than Leeds United's, with, the form's obviously better than Leeds United's, and they've still got Bournemouth to play, and they've still got Wolves to play. So 13th, 14th, one away from home, one at home. I know Joe and Brownie were a little bit more optimistic last night. I'm not sure if this is going to be a great sort of end for Leeds when it comes to looking at Everton. Really, I think Everton are going to get out of this. I think they're going to get 4 points, which would essentially take them to the 36 point mark, and obviously with those victories, I think they're going to get a decent goal difference as well. So overall, I genuinely believe it's between us and Forest. Forest remaining fixtures, as we know, if you guys aren't aware, are okay. I think this one is a little bit of a worry for me because I'm not 100% sure, which Forest come out for this one. Which Arsenal come out for this one. When we look at that game at the weekend and how bad Arsenal were against Brighton. It's a 17:30, 5:30 kickoff. Forest have got some big scalps at home this season. They're in form, they're in form at the minute. They obviously drew to Chelsea away. They were the better team. I watched that full game. Obviously, they beat Southampton. It was a terrible game. I know it was 4-3, but the quality on the pitch was awful. Obviously, they beat Brighton as well. So this is all within the last, 2 or 3 months. So I think Forest are on a bit of a surge, to be honest. And when you look at the Arsenal game, I think at least we'll know at that point what Arsenal are going to turn up. Because obviously Man City are playing at different points to them, and it means different things when City are playing. So let's just check when City are playing actually. But I believe they are Man City fixtures. We won't grab that up. So City obviously playing in the Champions League tomorrow against Real Madrid, and then they're playing on Sunday. So Arsenal obviously playing on Saturday night. Really need to put the gauntlet down. And I don't think Mikel Arteta will allow them to be as poor as they were against Brighton. You've also got to bear in mind that Martinelli's going to be out for this one, which is big, just that counter-attacking presence. They'll probably bring Trossard in for that one. But that one is one I'm looking at and thinking, what Arsenal are going to turn up for that one. And that's the slight worry, I think, for me. So I think Palace on the last day of the season will be tough, but I can maybe see Forest getting a draw there. We've just got to hope. We've got to pray that this isn't going to be a Forest performance and a good Forest performance and a dire Arsenal performance, because I think if Forest win here, it's over for Leeds. I think we'll know right here if because I think it is between Leeds and Forest, to be quite honest with you. We've got a superior goal difference. If we just go to the table here, and I zoom out a little bit, if we just go to the bottom of the league here, Forest goal difference is actually, 6 worse than Leeds, which is staggering. But you can see the form there. Forest have won 2. They've only lost 2 out of the last 5, whereas Leeds haven't won a game in the last 5. So it's asking a lot for us to go to West Ham and win, I think. But it also depends. Look at West Ham's form. It's not amazing there. And West Ham, you're hoping, are going to be resting some of the kids before, or putting some of the kids on, obviously with them being in the Europa Conference League. But yeah, I think it's between Leeds and Forest. I think Everton are going to get out of it. We've got a superior goal difference. So we just need to win a game. But it just feels at the minute that Leeds, if we just revert to our fixtures. Hold on a sec, guys. So Leeds United's fixtures, let's zoom in a little bit here. This is massive. And we were discussing it last night about Tottenham being a decent game for Leeds, and I think it is a decent game, but the thing is, we've got to get to that point. If we're able to put in those levels that we're putting against Newcastle, I think we could get something out of it, but we've got to get to that game. Forest beat Arsenal, I think it's done, even if Everton get a point at Wolves, because I think they'll beat Bournemouth on the last day, to be honest with you, especially Goodison, what it's like at Bournemouth at the weekend. We're really poor against Palace there on the beach. So I think a lot of it is also riding on Leeds' fixture here, against West Ham United. That is absolutely massive. I think we've got to get 3 points. You've got to get 3 points out of one of these games. And the psychological difference as well, if Leeds are able to get out the relegation zone, going into Tottenham at home, and then Forest are in the let's say hypothetically Forest are in the bottom 3, having to go to Palace away, you would probably rather play, especially being Leeds United with our record down at Selhurst Park. Ryan Mason, obviously the Tottenham manager. The problem's going to be Harry Kane. We know he's the issue. is a massive issue. But Leeds going away to West Ham, you do have a little bit more hope, especially with the rotated side that you're hoping they have. You know, if we just go on, once again, West Ham's fixtures here, and we just move that along a little bit. So obviously they've got the game on Thursday night against AZ Alkmaar here. You're hoping that Alkmaar almost win that 1-0 and it goes to extra time or whatever. You're hoping West Ham just don't, win it in 60 minutes and then start replacing everyone. So some of those players are ready for Leeds United. But obviously the let's have a look when the Europa Conference League final is. So Leeds game is the 21st. So Europa Conference League final. So that'll take place on the 7th of June. So you're hoping that, they essentially rest players and it's going to be a point where Leeds are able to go there. I'm almost looking at Jack Harrison. I remember when we last played West Ham and Jack Harrison really turned up and he was excellent. You're looking at him. Obviously, Rafinha's not at the club anymore, but you're hoping Willie Gnonto can cause a few problems. This isn't an unbelievable West Ham side. They do have quality players, though. Declan Rice, Ben Rama, Paqueta, I'm still a massive fan of, to be honest with you. Antonio, who's played really well against us previously. So you've just got to hope that Leeds go there and we put in a proper performance, score early, defend well, and maybe capitalise and get a second. And that would be absolutely perfect. You're expecting West Ham to score, of course. You actually Leeds cannot defend. But if Big Sam sets them up right, if they're able to play at a similar level to what they did against Newcastle and West Ham's performances are dipped a little bit, then you're hoping that Leeds can go into the game and really profit from it. But as we know, obviously with the fixtures, let me just get it up again because I've forgotten. So the 21st, we're playing on the Sunday. I think we'll know by Saturday at 7 o'clock where Leeds' position is. I think if we're down or up, I think Forest beat Arsenal, I think it's done. I think if Arsenal beat Forest, or even if Forest get a draw, it's going to go to the last day, isn't it? But you can't go. There's so many eventualities, but you'd really be hoping for Arsenal to beat Forest. You really would. And comprehensively it'd be nice as well, so their confidence is on the floor and Leeds are able to go to West Ham and win. But we can't be going to West Ham and getting pulverised, like we've seen this season with Leeds when it's come to us bottling situations. We have to go there and do some. We've got a dire record in London, especially this season. But yeah, it's got to be something that we look at and we think to ourselves, we're going to win this one. And it's a bit of confidence there. But guys, let me know what you think in the relegation run-in. Do you think we're going to do it? The Leicester match is obviously a big result, but we know it's really inconsequential when it comes to it because I think we all know Leicester are going to go. It's between Leeds, Everton and Forest. Let us know who your three is to go down. Do you think Leeds will get out of it? Do you think we won't get out of it? Let us know in the comment section below, everyone. Have a good one.